Hello and welcome back to the Fortnightly Q&A. My name's Lumin and it's been a while since the previous Q&A. I apologize. There are various reasons for me having not uploaded the Q&As, but it's unimportant. I'm doing it now. I'm going to try and do it every 2 weeks. I should be able to stick to that schedule. And with this one specifically, I might have to rush a couple of the questions, or at least not spend too much time on each of them, because we've got another power cut in an hour and 50 minutes. For another 3 hours, which is kind of gonna suck, but you know, it's life. And I don't know, because of that, I'm just not super excited about sitting here it's annoying. Okay, it's really annoying. But there are some really cool questions here. There are actually even some about the whole power situation here. Some about games, movies, and other goodies. So that should be interesting. We're gonna jump straight in with one from Ziltimate? I don't really know. Have you ever considered doing a Resident Evil or Dark Souls Let's Play? Not really. Dark Souls is not really my kind of game. Resident Evil, I'm not going to answer that. Is there even a PC version of that game that's any good? I'm assuming the answer to that is no. Assuming the answer to that is no. I don't really know. Okay, I don't know much about Resident Evil. And Dark Souls, again, not my kind of game. It's a little too brutal and hardcore for me, and because I can't really spend much time practicing games, Dark Souls would just be terrible to watch. I think you guys would be more frustrated than anything else with me playing that, and it would be like 100 episodes of me attempting the same boss, which would suck. Let's be honest, that would suck. So, next. Alan Omar, why not be a little more obscure with the titles that you cover on your channel? Who knows, maybe you get lucky with something that takes off out of nowhere. For example, Binding of Isaac. That came out of nowhere and overtook the gaming community 6 months after release, and it wasn't even a serious project. That's true, but nowadays, that's what people try and do. That is literally all that smaller YouTubers try and do, is they try to find that niche. Some people do it, some don't. And most of them try and piggyback off other bigger YouTubers' successes with certain games and videos, and, well, I'm not very good at that, firstly, and secondly, I don't want to fake enthusiasm or do anything like that for a game that I'm not really interested in. I'd rather, yes, do other stuff, but only if I'm very interested in it, and if I've got the time to cover or do this kind of thing properly. I don't know. I don't want to start another Let's Play up now, because I don't think I'd be able to support that kind of thing on my channel at the moment. I don't think I'd be able to do it consistently enough to merit even starting something new up, a new Let's Play at least. And when it comes to doing less coverage of games, well, I'd like to figure out a way of doing it, of course. I'd like to be able to play more stuff, get more variety up on the channel, but I'm not sure exactly how I want to do it yet. I don't know. As for Binding of Isaac, no thanks to that. It's actually exactly the same as Dark Souls. It's the same kind of game. It's one of those games that you have to play over and over again, and with repetition you become good. I don't know. Not really my type of thing, but it is something that I am strongly considering constantly. I'm always thinking about what I can try and do to, well, at least give me a little bit more success. And thus far, at least, I've not come up with anything great, so we'll see. Louis Soaf. What would you like to see as the gimmick of the next Hearthstone card expansion? So this was 2 months ago, or something like that, so Blackrock Mountain was not known back then. We know now that the gimmick is dragons and holding cards in your hand and stuff like that. So what I'll do is instead say that I like what they've managed to do with Blackrock Mountain. We haven't got all the cards yet, but already it seems like it's going to mix things up enough to keep things interesting for a little bit longer, and I'm excited about it. I'm excited to have all the cards and mess around with them a little bit, so it's cool. Blizzard did real good with Blackrock Mountain, and that's excluding the boss fights and the wings and that stuff, because that's obviously next level good. Just like Naxxramas was, it's great. Then, Zadalin. Will you upload a Dying Light playthrough? No, I won't. I don't even really need to read the rest of the Dying Light part here, but I will. It says it has a lot of comedic aspects for the viewers in the sense that it's a survival horror game, and it can scare the shit out of you anytime. Yes, I'm sure it can. I've played it, and playing at night is kind of stressful. Seriously, it's bad. But a Dying Light playthrough, that, in my honest opinion, would have been a huge mistake. Mainly because that game, it was one of those popular ones that everyone wanted to play when it came out, but it died down really quickly. Now, who's talking about Dying Light? No one's talking about Dying Light. No. Now, if I want to do something like that, then I guess GTA 5 would have been a better choice. Just if I wanted something big like that, something slightly open-worldy, that would have been a better choice. Then the next part of the question, what's your impression or opinion on the country Norway? I'm wondering, since I'm from there, and it's always fun to see what people think. Look, I know very little about Norway. I've seen the postcards. I know the capital is Oslo. I know that. I do know that. And I know the country's beautiful. I know that it's got lots of mountains, and it's green, and there are rivers. I can literally say that about any country. Okay, there are lots of mountains in South Africa too. Some green, got some rivers. I don't know much about Norway. I'm sorry. Some of the European countries, specifically the Scandinavian ones, the Vikings from Norway are a lot of the Viking folk tales from Norway. Is that a thing? If so, then I love Norway, of course. Of course, because my name is Sven. And that's a strong and proud Viking name. So there you go. Norway gets a thumbs up from me. Leonid's Radish. Why can't he stream? Look, I like that question. Simple, straightforward, to the point. Bad internet. Nothing more to say about that. I have an upload speed of 0.5 megs. 8TOA, and there's nothing else that I can do to make it better. There's no better internet available. 8TOA. Will you be watching the new Furious 7 film? Is it really called Furious 7 now? Is that what they're calling it? Or Fast 7? I think it's called Fast 7. It was actually Fast and Furious. I don't even know. I will be watching it as soon as I can. I'm not going to go to the cinema to watch it or whatever, but I'm a big fan of the Fast and Furious franchise. Well, since The Rock joined the cast, it's just become much more exciting. And I've heard good things about Fast and Furious 7, so I guess I'll check it out. Then, what's your favorite film and franchise or saga? I don't know. Like, it's very difficult to answer. I could go back and say, I love Indiana Jones. It's great. I was actually rewatching them just a couple of weeks ago. I guess currently, I'm not such a huge fan of some of the popular ones like Lord of the Rings or... What other popular ones? I like Star Wars. Of course I like Star Wars. The other popular one I was trying to think of was Avengers. Not a huge fan. It's super entertaining. Like, I love watching that, but it's not something I would say is my favorite. I could see Guardians of the Galaxy being my favorite if they continue with that. That was an amazing movie. Right up my alley. The comedy, the action, all of it. Really great. But yeah, I don't really have a favorite. I like Jurassic Park as well. Huge fan. Indiana Jones, Jurassic Park. Let's put those two at the top. Right? Right. We do that. I guess the Blade Runner saga was my favorite too. It lasted all of one movie. Then, Ohad Gilbert. Apparently I'm supposed to say the name Ahad Gilbert. I'm not sure if that's right. But, in your next Q&A, could you ask your amazing viewers if they want to see PlanetSide 2? I guess I can. Do you guys want to see PlanetSide 2? How many of you are actually looking forward to more PlanetSide 2 from Lumin? It's always good for someone with a YouTube channel who wants to actually cater to the likes and dislikes of their viewers and wants to actually have success to ask their viewers every now and then what they actually want to see. I'm always looking at all the comments of people saying they want to see this, they want to see that. They don't want to see this, they don't want to see that. I pay attention to all of it, of course. I don't always take it all to heart. I don't always adhere to what's being said to me, but if you want to see PlanetSide 2, make yourself known. I don't know what's going on in the game right now, but it should still be fun, right? It was fun back then. Can only be more fun now. John Rurald. Greetings, Lumin. I have a random question. What's your favorite... Oh, who's your favorite superhero and why? Mine is Aquaman. He gets a lot of flack, but I think he's a cool dude. It's an interesting way. Like, that could be... that could be his, like, tagline. His slogan. He gets a lot of flack, but he's a cool dude. I don't know. Don't know if that's what you want to say about a superhero, really, but... I guess I could just piggyback off the previous answer and say Star-Lord. But no, I don't have a favorite superhero. I watch these superhero films and series and stuff like that. And I do. I watch The Flash and Arrow, and I'm definitely considering checking Daredevil out. But I watch them for the story, all the characters, the big picture. I won't go out and say, you know, because I watch Arrow, because I watch Flash, The Flash or The Arrow are my two favorites. No, I enjoy all of it. I seriously do. And I don't like Superman or Batman really either. So there you go. Giving you some dislikes and a couple of likes. Take it. Then Celtic Uchu left a whole bunch of questions here. So brace yourselves. The one was left when the Q&A first went out. And then the other one, which is coming after, was more recent. They're both quite lengthy. Konnichiwa, Luna. I have a couple of questions for you. South African power situation. The power being the way it is in South Africa, walk us through your day-to-day life to highlight just how bad the situation is for you. It's so random. Like, we had 2 weeks now, around 2 weeks, where we had minimal power cuts. Like, very little. Maybe 3-4 a week, and they were at inobtrusive times. Nero's getting comfortable on the chair. They weren't really a big problem. They weren't affecting my workflow, my days very much. He's still busy. He's not happy with the cover on the chair here. But today, or yesterday specifically actually, they just took it up a notch. And now currently we're in stage 3, which means 3 power cuts every single day. And I'm thinking that's actually because of the weather. We're heading into winter here in South Africa, and yesterday it started getting cold. Today it's really cold. It's been raining all day. I'm assuming everyone just turned their heaters on. People are cooking warm food. People don't want to sit outside and make braais. Basically, the power consumption of the country just went up. And now, you know, stage 3. They can't support all of that. They can't provide power to the whole country. And we are having 3, 2.5 or 3 hour power cuts a day, and that sucks. So, my day-to-day life, well, it does get affected a lot by all of this, and I'm going to answer it together with the next one, which is, has your sleep schedule changed because of this? I don't think it's really changed that much. I mean, this is something I've had to do for a long time. I always wake up early, and I make sure my uploads are still going. I make sure the internet is still okay, connected, working, and sometimes, you know, when I do have to, I start some rendering or whatever up. But that's something I've been doing all along. I always wake up kind of early, and I can actually set that down so you can see Nero a little bit. He's antsy. He's antsy because of the weather. It's cabin fever. It's kicking in. Anyway, I've always been doing that. I've always been waking up early and just making sure everything was still running here. Making sure there wasn't a power cut during the night or whatever. But... and then I go back to sleep. But nowadays, like with the power, if it cuts 2 or 3 times a day, we generally try and do things that we have to do out of the house at that time. So we take Nero for a walk. If we know there's going to be a power cut at X, Y, or Z, we take him for a walk at those times. We go to the shop. We go to the gym. You know, we do all that stuff that we can in those times, during those times. It kind of sucks when the power cuts, like tonight. It's going off in an hour and a half, and it's going to be off at 8 p.m. and it's going to stay off till like 10:30 p.m. That's terrible, you know, because then it's dark, it's cold, there's like nothing to do, it's the middle of the night. It's actually prime time for most people, and well, it sucks. So there's really nothing I can do about that. But yeah, I mean, I just work around as much as I can. So when the power goes out, then stays off for a indeterminable amount of time. I come back when the power's on, I switch everything on here. I have to restart the uploads, and you know, sometimes they do restart. Sometimes when the power's off for a slightly longer period of time, they don't really want to. That's again kind of unpredictable, but I've been getting by, I guess. Then, seeing as how power is negative for the country's economy, do major cities have constant power in order to keep the country's key economies mostly going? No, I don't think so. I think everyone gets cut. Some places less, some places more. Certain areas, like where the president lives or where important people live, they never lose power. Most businesses that feel they need power constantly have generators and stuff like that. People have said I should get a generator. No ways. Petrol and diesel cost a lot. It makes a lot of noise. It's an expensive affair, and it's not something that's... Well, it's not affordable for me. There's no way it's going to work. I'm not going to get a generator. I have to just live with what I have been given here, and that's that. Then if the major cities are still receiving power 24/7 or close to it, would you consider getting a small apartment in one of them to keep the flow of content to the channel steady, or is that not an option? That's also not an option. Like, there's no way. I don't know. We used to live in Cape Town many years ago, and it wasn't pleasant. The big cities here in South Africa are not nice to live in. I mean, I get what you're saying about a small apartment and just having it as an extra, but to drive from here to Cape Town is an hour and a half. And then, what? That's like the length of the... Then there's an hour left for the power being off. Because it only goes off for like 2 or 3 hour periods. So it wouldn't really be worth it. Sure, I could go there for a couple of days or whatever. But no, given the costs and stuff like that, not worth it. I mean, I guess I could try and send videos to someone to upload or something like that. But again, it's more effort than it seems to be worth. I'm managing, sort of, with the uploads at the moment. More importantly for me would just be to move away from the country, to firstly get away from the power issues, and secondly get better internet so I could stream. That's the ideal for me. Is it expected to worsen? Yes. Like when winter comes, I do think that it's just going to get much worse because of what I said before. Cold, heaters, hot food. People can't be outside, outdoors. They're constantly indoors. It's going to get worse. Then, German citizenship. With your father having to gain German citizenship before a move can be considered, what's the timeline like for that? Both in government stated times and in real time. Twitch streaming. This is another question. So the citizenship thing, we don't know. He's done. He's just waiting for them. He's going to try and rush them along when he can. My father's been very busy. They've been out of the country a couple of times recently, and he's actually leaving the country again to go to some other convention. I don't know. And he's just not had a lot of time to do things like this, but it is out of his hands at the moment, so it could take anywhere from a couple of days from now till a couple of months from now. We're just waiting. Once that's done, I can go and I can apply for mine, for my passport, citizenship, whatever, and then who knows? That should go quicker. The children's ones always go quicker. I've actually got cousins who did it, and it wasn't quite as long as the first one that you have to apply for. But I don't know. You can never know with the government and how long they're going to take, so we'll just have to wait and see. I will let you guys know as soon as we know, though, so don't worry. Twitch streaming. Something a little more positive now, even if it's in the future. When you're able to stream, what type of streamer will you be? Basically, will you primarily switch over to streaming, uploading raw stream videos to YouTube? Will you edit the streams and release those, or will you keep the channel and stream content separate? I would like to do a mix. I would like to devote myself to streaming as... I don't know. I want to say as like hardcore as I can. I want to throw myself at that to make it work. I want to be able to provide a stream that people can come to often for good times. I don't know. I want to make that my primary thing, but I want to keep the channel running in much the same way as it is right now, but I also want to be able to include some stream highlights and stuff on there. And sure, if it's not too difficult putting stream VODs on there, I don't think anyone would complain about extra content. Okay? And I do think that currently it is easier watching, say, a big chunk of video footage on YouTube and finding it on YouTube than it is on Twitch. So until Twitch improve their video storage and management services, I think that I'll still be using YouTube for a lot of stuff. And I want to, like I said, keep content on YouTube as well because it's important. But I want to be able to do both. That's definitely my plan with that. Then KSP, would you consider doing a short video series on Kerbal Space Program? Personally, I think it would be entertaining to watch. I haven't actually ever played that before. Don't know if it would be entertaining, but it's the kind of thing that I can't really say no to because I don't know much about it yet. But I can definitely not say yes to. I think when the electricity situation stabilizes, if it does, I don't know if it will, and I do have more time to record and upload stuff, then maybe I'll consider jumping into a couple of different games. Not just that, but a couple of different games again to try and spice things up a bit on the channel. But I can't say just yet, so I'll give you a maybe on that. Then, another one from Celtic Uchu. Where's the question? How are you doing? Is there any added stress in your life outside of the problems in South Africa, i.e. internet and power? That's the first question. So he's got some instructions for me, which I'll get to in a bit. It's interesting stuff. Added stress, there's always stress. I don't know if it's more or less than before. And obviously, yes, this makes it worse. The fact that I know the power is going to cut in a couple of minutes and it sucks. But, you know, I obviously want to try and get out of the country as soon as possible. I want to try and do something more with the YouTube channel. I want to be able to stream. And I worry about things all the time. I worry that it's not going to happen soon enough. And when it does, it might not work out. And yes, there's obviously always stress. But it's nothing that I can't handle. I'm doing okay. I am. I've got some instructions for you. Take a sip of your nearby beverage, get up from your office chair, and stretch. That's number 2. Number 3 is find Nero and give him a hug and or kiss. Number 4, give Helene a hug and or kiss. Then repeat step 2 every 60 minutes and step 3 and 4 as needed. It's good advice. I do actually do that for the most part. I never record much longer than, like, if I do big recording sessions, they get to an hour, but then I stop and then I do things. And I do stretch throughout the day. I keep myself hydrated. I give Nero more kisses than any puppy should ever get. And the same goes for Eileen. More hugs and kisses than she probably wants. I do that. I do it. Probably gets annoying for both of them, but they live with it. They do. Firestorm123. Lumin, if we use Adblock or Adblock Plus while watching your videos on YouTube, does it affect the amount of money you get from your videos? I think so. I know very little about this. It's embarrassing how little I know about it, but I always see other YouTubers saying that, you know, you can whitelist my channel. If you do that, then I won't be affected too much. So I'm assuming that's why one would do that. By whitelisting, you say that this channel specifically can play its ads, but the rest of YouTube doesn't. But then again, you know, I wouldn't say just whitelist mine. If you really like someone's content, if you want to support them, then hey, it's worth waiting those 4 seconds or whatever to click skip on the ad, or just closing the little ad when it pops up or whatever. It's you know, it's okay. It's not so bad. You don't have to block that. I never get bothered by ads. Seriously, sometimes on Twitch when they let you watch a 1.5-minute ad, that's ridiculous. Before you can open a stream or actually watch the stream itself, that's completely absurd. But I don't think it ever gets that bad on YouTube, and I never click on the little. There's a little button in the monetization options where it's long, non-skippable ads. I've never ticked that. I don't know if I'm supposed to. I don't know if I'm making a mistake by not doing that. But as far as I know, it doesn't change much, so I don't bother with it. But I do think Adblock is bad. I think so. Maybe someone who watches this can give you a little bit of input about that. Someone that knows. And again, I'm embarrassed that I don't know more about it. Extra Muton. Lumin, did you ever explain why you usually play as female characters in RPGs? Is it purely aesthetic? Sorry if you've already answered it. I'm kind of new to your channel. By the way, keep up the awesome work. I have explained it multiple times, but I am always happy to explain that again. It's aesthetic. I mean, like, for instance, in Mass Effect, I played as femship because, firstly, the voice actress is... I'm just a huge fan of Jennifer Hale, and she makes it much more fun and or entertaining to play. And then, well, the aesthetics, I prefer looking at a female character. I'm there to experience the game itself, the story of the game or whatever. I don't need to make myself in a game. I don't need to pretend that that's me, so therefore I need a male. I understand how it works. You know, I understand that some people don't like the fact that other people always make female characters, but I prefer making a pretty character that is the character that I play in that game, whichever game it is. And hey, if I'm going to be looking at a character's backside all day long, then why not let it be a pretty one? That's my thinking. Okay? That's my thinking. But yeah, purely aesthetic. I like the females more. And in certain situations, it does enhance the experience. Nothing against the male Shepard actor. He's pretty good as well. But femship all the way. Speaking of Mass Effect, Tali Zora Naraya. She left a question. Hey Lumin, how do you feel about Elder Scrolls Online going free to play? For myself, I can say it's made me much more interested in the title. I love the Scrolls series along with Mass Effect, and really want to give it a go. Will you be playing it again? Also, how do we feel about the fact that there's still an optional subscription model for it? I wish it was purely a buy-to-play game. Anyway, I hope you're good and keep up the good work. P.S. The Dishonored plus the DLC were my favorite Let's Plays by you. Kila Salai. Good question. I am actually going to be checking Elder Scrolls Online out when they have the free weekend. I think it's this weekend, 16th to 20th or something. I was literally just talking about that to Eileen, and before I started recording here, and I'm gonna jump back in there, see what it looks like, see how it plays, see if I enjoy it, because as it stands, the most popular video on my channel, the most viewed video. I don't know if it's the most popular. People, they have mixed opinions on it, but the most viewed video is the Elder Scrolls Online character creation, and the Let's Play series that I did of Elder Scrolls Online did reasonably well too. People enjoyed it, and I wouldn't mind jumping in to give it a try. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the bit that I played during the beta weekends, and I think that the game does have, well, some good things going for it. It is in the Scrolls series. It's an amazing world that it's set in. I'll give it a try. I'm going to give it a try. I can't guarantee videos. I don't know. But maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Fluffyfish94. Hey Lumin, first of all, thanks for the awesome videos. I love every single one of them. My question is, do you still follow Star Citizen? I remember you once showed your citizenship card and said that you're really interested in the game. Did you play Arena Commander and such? Would you be making videos about the alpha and beta when they happen? I think so. To the latter part of that, I do follow it, but I don't follow it religiously. I am interested, but I'm not obsessive. I do want to play it when it comes out, when it's actually playable. I don't think Arena Commander is what I'm after. I'm after the big picture. When they let you just go out there and do your thing, that's what I wanna see. I'll jump in when that's possible. If you know what I'm saying. They are very, very crazy with all the stuff they're trying to add to this game, and I'm hoping it's gonna work out. I mean, it's probably the most ambitious game I've seen for ages, and that's a good thing. That's good. Someone has to do it. Someone has to do this. They have to make the unthinkable, the game that no one else could ever make. This could potentially be it. Who knows? Okay? Who knows? This is probably the reason I always keep wanting to jump back into EVE Online, because I want all of it. But then I get into EVE and I'm like, whoa, look, you know, that's a lot of numbers. And then I start hurting in the cranial region. Like a lot. Jeez. I don't know. EVE Online, man. Whew. I jump in there every now and then. and then I jump right back out. That's what I do with EVE Online. I got as far as the character creation 4 days ago because I saw the trailer for the latest release. It looked so good. The trailer is always so good, so flashy. Wow, and then the numbers come rushing in. Anyway, I follow Star Citizen. I'm very interested. I haven't gotten my citizenship card framed yet, but like I will at some point because it's special to me. It's the one and only thing that I've ever backed on Kickstarter. Kind of proud of that. But I'm interested, so I'm hoping that they're going to a slightly more interesting alpha or beta soon, so that I can jump in. But there you go, that was the last question. I tried to, and I'm sorry about that, I tried to rush this a little bit because I need to get a lot done before the power goes out. So I apologize, but I will be getting this up more regularly. And bonus points if you could hear the Deus Ex music in the background. The new one was announced recently and I'm excited. I will be playing that. There's no way I don't play it. I will. My Deus Ex Human Revolution series did okay. Did reasonably well, actually. And I'm hoping that my next one does better. Actually, I'm hoping we're overseas by the time that comes out. And I can, like, just pump the videos out 5 a day. So you guys can just get this uninterrupted stream of Lumin playing Deus Ex. Sneaky good times. Like, strangling people out. That'll be good. Anyway, I'm done. Check back here soon for another Q&A. Soonish. 2 weeks. I might be a day early, I might be a day late. Might be 2 days early or 2 days late, but I'll try and keep it at sort of the same time. Try and be more consistent with it. There will also be more Tales of Lumin episodes going up, and I'm hoping you guys enjoy them. But there you go. I'm done. Leave those questions below. Ask me anything. I'm cool with that. And I'll get back to you with those answers soon. Happy that.